Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Wednesdays at Noon with PunkinFutz. And I'm so happy to everyone who is joining us today and everyone who is going to begin to join us over the next 45 minutes. My name is Shanique Ruiz, and I am on team with PunkinFutz, as some of you may know. And I have been here for a very long time, and we're about 20 episodes into this series for Wednesday, and I'm super happy this week to have Shantae Burns Simpson with us from New York Public Library, and she is going to talk to us about education, equity, and access for the future with New York Public Library. And with everything that we're going through with this pandemic, and yes, we are still in a pandemic, so please continue to wear a mask and take the precautions that you need to keep everyone safe. We are begging you, please. So before we start, I actually want to take this time to let you all know that there is a bit of a lag in the comments, but we want to hear from you. Please talk to us and chat with us and ask us questions, especially to parents and caregivers out there who might use the library or have children who use the library out there. This is an episode for you. We're doing this for you. So we really want to hear from you, everyone who's out there and watching. And I also want to take this time to let you all know that this episode will be ASL interpreted within like 48 hours to our page. So check back for our deaf audience who might need to watch this. This will be ASL interpreted. So we're so happy to be able to provide that accommodation. So yes, we can get right into it. Shantae, would you mind telling us a bit about you and who you are? Tell us about yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Shanique. Hello, everyone. So who am I? Right now, I am an 8-month pregnant person who can still see her feet, not swollen. My fingers are a little bit, but seriously, I am Shantae Burns Simpson, Manager of School Support and Outreach for the New York Public Library, where ultimately myself and the team I work with, we connect schools and community-based organizations with all of the free resources and programs that the library has to offer. So we go out, we do professional development, we do class visits, we table, and we just want to get the word out about all of the amazing resources the library has to offer.
That's amazing. And hi, my mom is watching. Hi, Mom. And hi, Jason Morris. He just
I'm trying
joined us.
to get my mom on. So let's see.
It should be on our Facebook page for anyone who might be out there.
There we go.
Yay!
Yes. So you're going to have to go in another room. I'm going to get the back. Thank you,
That's
Mom.
awesome. We appreciate the support. Thank you, Shantae's mom. Into the next question, could you tell us a bit about the support that is provided for children and available for children through the New York Public Library summer programming?
The summer program. So yes, we have a lot of amazing things that's happening over the summer. So of course we're continuing our virtual programming that we started since the pandemic hit, but we also have the virtual summer camps. And yes, the New York Public Library is extremely excited to celebrate fantastic tales, inspiring heroes, and the power of telling your own epic story from home.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, I'm so passionate about storytelling. So that makes me so happy to hear all of the things that you all are doing. And how do we find out more about these programs?
Okay. You could go to our website, so nypl.org, and that's where you will see the link for the summer reading portal. And this is where students can go to track their reading progress. They will find some fun at home activities. You could get book recommendations. You could earn badges. So this program goes on for about 6 weeks. We're already our 3rd week in, but that does not mean it's too late to start. You could do all of the back projects, which are a lot of fun.
I love that.
We post videos 3 times a week, and it does have our lovely NYPL librarians and staff that show the activities to both the kids and the families who want to do it together. And these projects are from pre-K on up, so it's for all ages.
Oh, that's great. And this question is really, really important. So people need internet access to access this, correct?
Okay, so that is a good question. So to participate in the virtual summer camp, yes, you would need internet access because it's on the website. But we are creating kits that will have the printed activities. So I do want you to be on the lookout for that, because we will be posting information about how to get the actual printed materials. That'll be coming
And
up.
information about that will be on the website as well.
It will be on the website. Plus, you can always contact us via phone, ask NYPL.
Okay.
We could share that information.
Okay, that's great. And I see we have some comments. Hi, Charlene and Lisa and Robin for joining us. And Robin just said, it's great to hear that the library is providing summer programming and also that select branches are opening up in the city. So excited to see the city reopening thoughtfully and that we get to read and learn and participate. Yes, Robin, for all that positivity.
Yes, so Robin already knows. She's heard on the news that we have
Yes.
the grab and go that started this Monday. So thank you so much, Robin.
Yes, could you tell us a bit more about that, actually? Great segue into that.
Oh, for sure. So this past Monday, what day of the week is it now? I mean, time has escaped me.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Okay, happy hump day, everyone. So yes, so on Monday we opened up 8 branches, 3 in the Bronx, 3 in Manhattan, and 2 in Staten Island. So in the Bronx we have the Belmont Library, we have the Francis Martin Library, Parkchester Library, and then in Manhattan we have the Epiphany Library, George Bruce Library, and the Stavros Niarchos Foundation Library. And for some of you, you might know it as Manhattan. It has a new name. And then out in Staten Island, which is the borough I'm representing, we have the Richmond Town Library and the Toad Hill Westerly Library. So those are the 8 locations that are open for the grab and go. And it basically means that you could go to the website, nypl.org, or you could go to our Simply E app, and I'll tell you more about the Simply E app. And you can just search for books and materials. You find something you like, you put it on hold. Then once it's available for pickup, you'll get an email. Once you get that email, then you would go to one of those locations that you had as the pickup location. You would go to the library, make sure you have your mask. We're practicing social distance. And then you would go in and pick up your item. Now, the items will be shelved based on the first 4 letters of your last name and the last 4 numbers on your library card or your digital barcode. And then you literally pick it up and you go. The items are already checked out to you. So it's really, really fast and no point of contact.
I love that. So I know you told me earlier that this grab and go program was created through the pandemic and to be safe and to keep everyone safe. Because of the pandemic, I guess is the right way to say it.
We all have to follow, the governor's orders. So, the city is slowly opening up via the phases. And so this is part of the first phase of the libraries trying to open up safely, but slowly. Yes.
And that's also a great segue into our next question. What precautions are being taken to keep library users, and including librarians, safe at this time? What precautions are being taken?
I mean, nobody wants the corona, COVID-19, whatever you call it. Nobody wants it. I mean, and we should be very careful to not catch it. So now we're working to provide the services that we know that many of our communities look to us to provide. So we are getting materials to you with no direct contact. We are still giving you the ability to have access to the free resources and participate in, the virtual programming, again, with no point of contact. So again, we want to make sure you are safe. We want to make sure we stay safe. So we want to just continue to give you amazing services, free resources without being face to face.
I think that this is so important. I just want to say we see everything that's happening on the news with the way that schools are going to begin to open up or choose not to open up, and it could be very depressing sometimes to see some of the things that are beginning to happen, and sometimes it may feel like it's too early. So I'm so happy to hear that the library is doing their part to support children through this transition. And I'm so happy to hear that if you don't have internet access, you all are putting together kits and things like that. I just think that that's really important, especially since like underserved communities are the ones that are going to most suffer from the things that are going to happen going forward and that have happened so far. So I think that things like this are really important to be able to have this support because some children don't have that support at home. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to hear that this is being done and this conversation is so important. I'm going to go back to the list of questions because I lost track of where we are right now.
I
don't know, because there's so many things that I want to say. Could we circle back to the Simply E app? Could you tell us a bit about that?
Oh, okay. So the Simply E is NYPL's free e-reader app, and it's available for both your iOS and Android devices. You can also use this app to sign up for a digital library card. So it's no excuse to not be able to use the library. So
yes, it's a miracle that library cards, yes, they still exist.
Yes, they do. And I know for me as a child, I was like, oh, this is my first credit card. Like I was really excited to get my library card. I hope the same enthusiasm is happening for kids across the city.
I love that.
But, yes. You can sign up using the Simply E app to get a digital barcode. So it's no excuse not to use the library at this time. So you can use your physical card, place things on hold via the app or nypl.org, or you could download the app again for both your iPhone or your Android and sign up for a digital barcode and continue to use the library.
I love that. What supports, are there any supports that are happening right now for students like transitioning back into the school year? What resources is the New York Public Library providing?
Oh, we have so many resources. That would be hours long. I will shout out a few. We have resources from babies on up. So I'm going to start with the young ones. You could check out Bookflix and Tumble Books, and that will read the story out loud and highlight the words. So again, to encourage independent reading. For your curious middle schoolers, you could check out Biography and Context, and they can learn about, influential people over the summer. We even have a database called Flipster. Again, you could read magazines for free straight from, your smartphone. I also want to highlight Learning Express Library and BrainFuse. So now these are great for all age groups, but they're extremely, extremely useful for your high schoolers. So if they need help with test prep, I want to highlight that BrainFuse is one-on-one tutoring for your kids.
So important.
Yes, because I know it was heaven sent, especially during this remote learning. I mean, I'm fine with the reading, doing that with him. When he was doing the math, they're doing the math completely different. So yes, I know 2 plus 20 plus 20 equals 40, but they need to add across and not down like I learned. So the one-on-one tutoring is so useful for so many parents, especially if you're talking about math.
Yeah, I would also imagine that having that one-on-one connection with a tutor at this time is so important, to have kids feel that support and to have that connection with someone one-on-one. I know for me, this pandemic, that's been the hardest thing, is to not be able to have that social interaction. So PunkinFutz actually has a one-on-one meeting with the team every day at 9 a.m. just because we're so really passionate about like one-on-one seeing each other and just social interaction. And I see my mom raising her hand because I think that's been hard for her as well, not having that interaction with people right now. So that's really, really important. And I hope that everyone watching out there or who might watch the replay of this will take advantage of that. Could you just repeat that one more time? What's the name of that program that does the one-on-one tutoring?
It's called BrainFuse. It's BrainFuse, and you can find it on nypl.org. And I have the step-by-step like in my head. So you go to nypl.org, you're going to see this link that says research. When you click on that, you're going to see another link that says articles and databases. Click on the letter B and you will find BrainFuse, and you will have access to free one-on-one tutoring for your child. So definitely,
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, we're humans. We are social beings. I mean, even if you call yourself an introvert, extrovert, you eventually need just some kind of human contact. So
yes, amen to that. So are there certain subjects that you recommend to use for that resource, or is there like all kinds of subjects for the tutoring?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They cover all subject matters, and again, they have the test prep as well. And I also want to highlight Learning Express Library, and that's another one that's great for all ages. So you can find practice exams on Learning Express Library, and what's great about that is that you could create an account. So if you do not finish the exam, you can log back and it will continue where you left off. And it goes for elementary, middle, high school, for college prep, and you will find practice exams for all of those tests that adults take, like the ASFAB, so like to get into the Army, like all of the postal exams, all of those kind of exams, career exams, you could find practice tests on Learning Express Library. So definitely check it out. And another one, and I said I was gonna not say all of the resources, but we have a database called Mango Languages, and again, you can learn another language for free from the library's website. So again, I know a lot of people were using this time that they were at home to gain a skill. Learning another language is an amazing skill to learn. I think it's about 71 languages you could pick from on that database. So definitely check it out.
I'm gonna actually use that that resource. Thank you so much for telling me that, because I will tell people that it is hard to learn anything as an adult. That means real serious discipline. Like, if you have children out there, please push them to learn a language while they're still children, because it is hard to learn anything as an adult. It's like so hard, and I know it's crazy to say that because adults should know how to kind of self-discipline in that way, but it's really hard.
There's a lot going on.
Mango Languages is the name of it.
Yes, Mango Languages.
Okay. Do you have to live in NYC area to use these free resources? That's a great question.
That is a really good question. So if you live, work, or pay taxes in New York, you are eligible to get a NYPL card. So if you are, say, for instance, a teacher who lives in New Jersey, but you work in New York City, you could get a library card. If you live in, if you live upstate, you could get an NYPL library card because you live in New York State. So yes, you can get a library card.
Okay, that's really good to know. And if you're out of state, like in anywhere other than like the tri-state.
Yeah, it's a fee. But again, people who's in the tri-state area, if they work in New York City, then they could get a card. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Okay, great. And since we're talking about being somewhere to have to use it, I think it's important to say again, is there any fee or pricing for any of these programs that you've mentioned?
No. So to participate in the programs, use our website, check out materials, there's no fee. But if you check out books or you bring them back late, then there's a late fee. So just bring back materials on time and enjoy the free service. If you are checking out ebooks or e-audio books, you don't even have to worry about late fees, because after the time slot that you checked it out for, when that date comes, it just miraculously disappears off your device. So you don't even have to worry about remembering to bring something back. It just automatically checks in itself. And I do want to pinpoint that we know that New York City is the 5 boroughs, and New York Public Library covers 3 of the boroughs. So that is the Bronx, Manhattan, and Staten Island. Brooklyn is its own library system, and Queens is its own library system. That doesn't mean that if you're in Brooklyn and Queens, you can't have a New York Public Library card. But I just want to show that there are 3 New York City public library systems. So just wanted to point that out. So
I never knew that. So thank you so much for saying that.
You would know that information. There we go. Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much for saying that. And that doesn't mean that we don't welcome everyone from any branch, wherever you are coming from. You can visit anywhere, but there are different library systems, and I think that's really important to know. So does that mean, I guess that brings me to a question that I'm now having, thinking in my head, is like, do they have different precautions or different ways in which they might be doing things than New York Public Library, right?
And we are all pretty much doing that grab and go system. So you'd have to learn what branches are open in Brooklyn and what branches are open in Queens to, check out materials. We all have a separate library card. You could connect Brooklyn and NYPL's card if you want to just have the one card. But I say have all 3. They're nice. I have all 3. Yeah.
I love that.
And then to get the ebooks as well.
Oh, that's great. I actually, I prefer a traditional book, but there are some people out there who prefer electronic books.
Yeah, I love that. A lot of people.
And actually,
I think a lot of people assume that teens and kids want the ebooks, but honestly, it's the adults and the older adults who like the ebooks. They like to be able to make the print larger or, whatever.
I see Rebecca said ebooks all the way.
Yeah. I love e-audio. I like the books on the CDs. I put it in the car. I like to listen to my book. So it's no judgment. I like to read. It's still reading. No judgment.
Yes. And actually, for people who may not know, you are also a parent. Do you have some advice for parents right now that you would be able to give?
I am a parent of a 7-year-old boy. And like I said at the beginning, I have another boy on the way. My advice for parents is read with your kids, especially at this time. There's so much going on between the pandemic and the protests. Some of your kids will come out and ask questions, but some of them won't, and they will internalize what's happening. So what can be that gateway to foster conversations around what's going on right now? So I do want to point out, you want to make sure your kids are seeing positive images of themselves, especially in books.
Yes, representation is so important. So important.
very important, as well as you want them to be able to learn about other cultures and see people who are different from them. So again, use books. It helps foster empathy and it shows a larger world outside of their community. So that would be my advice right now.
I love that, Shantae. Thank you so much for that advice. And I think that, just like you said, it's really, really so important. And that's not at all to say that it's not already being done. We just want to reiterate that it is
Right.
very, very, very important. And by different, we mean different in any type of way, a different language, a different color of skin, a different race, a different nationality, a different ability or disability. You know, they need to see all of those things, different political views, different everything. So yeah, all of that stuff I'm sure is available through New York Public Library. Shameless plug.
And if you don't know where to start, I mean, we have a lot of amazing recommendations from our librarians on the website, but you can always just ask the librarian. So again, we have Ask NYPL, where you can ask for book suggestions and get help putting them on hold. And then you just go and pick them up and you're good to go.
I love that. And I don't see any questions in the comments yet, but if anyone is watching out there and has any questions for Shantae, we're coming towards the last 15 minutes of the show. And if you have...
Time flew. We're having too much fun.
I know. So if you have any questions, she would be open to answering them, right, Shantae, towards the end when we give out your contact information and ways that people can learn more. But the last question that I have, could you tell us a bit about your work nationally, your work on equity, and could you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, so I am currently the president of the Black Caucus of the American Library Association. Really proud about that. And we are currently celebrating our 50th anniversary. Yay, thank you. We are really, really happy to be celebrating this milestone as an organization. Our mission is to serve as an advocate for the development, promotion, and improvement of library services and resources to the nation's African American communities. But what does that mean? That ultimately means that we are glad to make sure that library services are not being treated as a one-size-fits-all. Mm-hmm. So we are focused on the African American communities. There are other organizations who are focused around, Spanish community, Asian community. I do want to point that out. We want to make sure that programs and resources that work in one library for one community, it doesn't necessarily mean that those same services would work to meet the needs of another community. So we just want to make sure that we are providing materials, programs, and support to meet the particular needs within the various communities that we serve. So it's equity 101.
I love that. And since you did just trigger something. You said equity 101. For anyone who may not know the importance of equity out there, who might be watching or might watch the replay, could you tell us, what does equity mean and what does it mean for our community specifically?
Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people might have seen that image with the three people standing on the crates. So where you say, okay, well, we're treating everyone equally. And so they have the one person who's really tall and they only need to stand on the one crate. Then they show someone a little bit shorter, but they're still standing on that one crate and they could barely see over the fence. And then you have a shorter person who stands on the one crate who cannot see over the fence. So equity would be having enough crates to make sure we all can see over the fence, right? So again, it's just being able to provide the resources, the services, so that everyone is able to be at that same baseline. So, and I know that's what a lot of libraries focus on. A lot of us focus on filling that digital divide. So where you have households or communities where there's not a computer in the home, or there's not um, internet Wi-Fi in the home, and we are providing that in the library. We also want to be able to provide, resources in other languages. So if we're in a community where there's a majority, the community is majority Asian, that we're not just making sure that we just fill the shelves with English, or Italian, because the community used to be Italian. We need to make sure that we are keeping up with the current needs of the people within our community.
I love that. Thank you so much for that explanation. And I think that it was so well put. And I see Lisa just posted. I didn't even know she was watching. Hi, Lisa. She said, I love that image. We should post that. Yes, I'll look into that and I'll post that on our Facebook. Actually, right after this, she just asked a question. Does New York Public Library have a digital device lending service?
That is a great question, and we do have a hotspot lending service, and we check them out to adults who have kids in the DOE system. So by the time this pandemic hit, all of those were already checked out. Like, we checked them out full, so we do have it, and they go out so fast. And I mean, we have a lot of them too. So we do want to support that. But again, it's a big support, a big ask, and we're thankful for all the contributions to make that happen.
Yes. And actually, we could find out more about how to get something lent out from the New York Public Library, I'm assuming, on the website, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we're getting that link, the specific link for you all. But I see Rebecca putting up some links up on the page right now. And actually, before we wrap up, we want to just reiterate that there are places where you can find out about the summer events that New York Public Library is having. Everything is free. And
yes. Free. And I do want to give you the telephone number. So again, if you do not want to do a live chat or send an email to Ask NYPL, you can call them. So you can dial 917-275-6975. So that's pretty much 917 Ask NYPL. So again, 917-275-6975, and call them, and they will answer your questions. They're the librarian gurus. Like, if no, they can find anything.
917-275-6975. So 917 Ask NYPL. That's the number, and you can call to ask any questions to New York Public Library about anything that you might need to know that we may not have answered here.
Awesome.
Where can parents find out how to borrow one? I think Shantae is actually looking up that specific link right now of where they would be able to go.
To borrow. They're all checked out. The hotspots, they've been they're checked out. We will let you know when we have more available, but yeah.
Okay. I actually have a question for you, Shantae. What's been the most rewarding part of your role at New York Public Library?
Oh my goodness, that's one of the hardest questions, because
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. But there are a lot of rewarding aspects of the job. That I think that's why I love doing it, and it doesn't feel like work. Like, even doing stuff like this, to just talk about it is like, I'll talk about it all day. But yeah. I love going out into the communities, into schools, that are like, oh, there's the library lady. Hi, miss. They remember my name, but they're like, oh, the library lady. Hi. And it makes you feel like a superstar or something. That it makes you feel. especially if they'll say, oh, I remember that book you suggested. I loved it. Or that book you read to me. And since we have time, can I recommend a book that
Of course.
that I've been reading because it's summertime?
Yes.
It's just a fun book, and I'm sure a lot of people know it, but I wanted to. I'm a librarian. I got to shout at least one book, right?
Of course.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight Jabari Jumps. So again, I'm the mom of a 7-year-old African-American boy. This book, the storyline has nothing to do about him being a Black boy. It's basically a story about courage. He wants to dive, and he finds the courage to dive. He goes to the pool with his dad. He passes the test, and he's like, I'm ready to dive. And it's a quick read, but it's a lovely story. And again, that's what I want to talk about, is being able to read books that have a positive image, that the storyline has nothing to do about the kid's race or their illness or their disability. It's just a good story, and the character just happens to be XYZ. You get what I'm saying? Because this character could have been any race. It's a great
story. Right. I love that. Thank you so much for recommending that. And I'm actually going to look into buying that for my nephew. And yeah, he loves it.
I suggest, because we're in New York City and I know space is an issue, check it out from the library first, read it, see if you love it, say, you know what, I have to have it, and then you go buy the book.
I'm going to do that. Actually. Is there a book that has helped you as a parent? Now that we're recommending books, you've opened that door. So now I want to know, like, is there a book that you recommend for parents out there who might, that has helped you, or maybe expecting parents, or something that you read?
I read my first pregnancy, What to Expect When You're Expecting. I did read that book. It does answer a lot of great questions. And I actually do have that book. Someone bought it as a gift. So I will probably look through it again to just see if there's anything I forgot that maybe I intentionally forgot.
No worries. Actually, before we wrap up, because we have about, it looks like 7 more minutes, we could get up all of the contact information of how people can check out more about New York Public Library and more about the event. So Rebecca, if you could pull up that information of the websites and things that people can go to find out more information, newyorkpubliclibrary.org/events/summer, and that's specifically directed
to camps and all of those programs. Yes. And that link right there is to show how you could get the Simply E app. Again, you could go to your app store on your phone and download it for free.
I love that. Ooh, Lisa just recommended a book in the comments. She said, my current read is such a fun age.
Yes, that's an adult book, but yes. Good one.
I want to check it out. I love good books.
If you could see her do like an author talk or speak, then definitely check her out. And we do a lot of author events, so look out for that. We're doing a lot of virtual author events, so you will see that on the website as well.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
that's great to hear. New York Public Libraries.org/education. That tells us more about.
That will show you a lot of the resources available. So we made a page to highlight all of the databases that you have available from home, and we have it broken up by age range.
Okay, that's really useful. Thank you so much for that. And I feel like we had another one, maybe not.
My team's contact information. There we go. Schoolvisits@ASL.org. Yeah. So you can contact me and the amazing outreach librarians who go across the city to, again, promote.
I was actually just going to ask you, like, what is an outreach librarian for people who may not know?
We are out and about. We are out in schools and communities, letting them know about all of the free resources and programs available from the library. We sign people up for library cards. We share calendars of the branches that are close by in the neighborhood, just so that people are aware of what they have access to for free.
Okay, that's amazing. And thank you for all that you do for the community and just within the New York Public Library. I did have, maybe it might be a little random, but maybe if someone is someone, their library is not open, can we expect more openings in the future? Maybe far future or near future? Like, are they starting to open more libraries as we go
Yes,
forward?
starting out with this 8 and learning from there and seeing
Okay.
if we can move forward to add, some more. Again, we have to follow the phases that the governor is laying out, and this was our phase to start opening.
Okay.
If the 8 goes successful, and we think so, as long as everybody continues to wear their mask and social distance, and we just follow those rules, we can move on.
That's great. Thank you so much.
We're 3 days in, so. Sheena, how are you?
Hi, Sheena. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it.
And we're so happy to see that people love this conversation, and it'll be available for anyone who may not have been able to catch it live. It's on our Facebook page, and it'll be there for people to watch and converse with us and interact. So even if it's not live, we still want to hear from you. If you have any questions or anything that you'd like to share with us, any book recommendations, we want more books.
Yeah,
right now. Yes, keep that circulating. Actually, right now I'm reading a book called the 7 Energy Codes, and it's really interesting. Energy is really
reader, huh?
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I believe in like self-care and things like that.
Good. Self-time is very important. Very important. I might have to read that after you're done. Okay.
I'll tell you if I recommend it. I'm halfway through right now, so that was my my summer read right now. The Stand by Stephen King during the pandemic, no less.
I was gonna say that's a little scary. I don't know if I can take that right about now.
I know. Sheena Williams said, "Good afternoon, ladies. My apologies for my tardiness." No, you're never too late. We appreciate you for even joining us. So thank you so much for clicking on it, for watching it, and for joining us. And next week, we're so happy to have a feeding therapist / OT, occupational therapist who is going to join us next Wednesday. Her name is Nicole Eaton, and she will be joining us next Wednesday, and we're super happy about that. Recess on Friday for children. So anyone out there who does have children and will like to join us, we're going to have occupational therapy and movement. I'm talking about outside and nature and the way that it relates to occupational therapy. And Alvin is really awesome, super high energy, and we really hope that you are able to join us with your kiddos. It's a way shorter live stream than this one, so it'll be about 25 to 30 minutes of activities. We call it Recess with PunkinFutz, so we really hope that you're able to join us for that. And thank you so much to everyone who's saying that they enjoyed this conversation. Robin just said, such a wonderful and uplifting session, great insights all around. Thank you, Robin. Sheena Williams said, occupational therapy for children at what time? 4 p.m. on Friday. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Right here on PunkinFutz Facebook page. So we hope that you can join us, and we're about out of time. Thank you so much to Shantae for joining us. I really, really, really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Shanique. I think we should dance on out. We should get some movement going. I'm telling you,
I love that.
The young ones read, sing, play. So you read the story, you sing a song, you dance around, do some kind of activity. Make it fun. Learning can be fun. I mean, I know when we did some of this remote learning, some of it could have been hair pulling, but this summertime, let's have fun.
And you told us that that you might actually know someone who might want to come on recess and do the reading play with us. So maybe we can set that up sometime in the future.
Yeah. It won't be me, but it'll be someone else.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to what that will look like. And thank you so much again for doing this with us and for joining us. And you gave some really, really, really great insight on what to expect from New York Public Library and what's happening right now. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Do we have any outgoing music, Shanique? Come on, we got to dance on out.
I don't. Not on me right now. But
good.
In our head, we can imagine that. So
there we go. What are you imagining? Summertime.
Recess with PunkinFutz 4 o'clock every Friday afternoon. Yes, before we go, I should say that. So we do it every Friday. Every Friday we have something different for the kiddos. Someone's listening to music. Yay! Oh, you're dying.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it so much. Bye.